Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel, The Light of Divine Love. My name is Kelly Miller, and thank you for tuning in and joining me today. I have a few things I'd like to clarify real quick before I move forward into our next adventure. First thing I want to clarify is in my very first video, I made a prediction about a football game, San Francisco versus Miami Dolphins, but I did not include the quarterback. I overlooked that. And his name was Elvis Gerbach, who threw 4 touchdowns for no interceptions for 315 yards that day. So I just wanted to put that out there to acknowledge my mistake in that video. And I thank you for understanding. The second thing I'd like to clarify with why I'm doing these videos, in early 1995, I had a life-changing experience that really had changed my life for the better. And part of the reason why I'm showing these earlier videos, I'm trying to build some trust with you, a rapport, being very honest and vulnerable about things that happened to me in my life as I grew up. And then again in 1995, I went to this program called Impact. As a disclaimer, I do not work for them. I'm not sponsored by them. I'm not recruiting for them, nor am I financed by them. This is just my experience on what happened to me and how it changed my life. And it's something that I wanted to share with people because I haven't talked about it in a very long time to hardly anybody. And I just feel that this would be a great opportunity to share this information with you, and maybe you can look into something as this if you would like to go for yourself and see how this may serve you in your life. So anyways, with that being said, I'd like to move on with the story real quick here. Right now, we're back in 1984. I just got my very first guitar. I'm 14. I'm getting ready to start my 8th grade year in junior high. My friend Dave, his band had broken up. His brother moved on to play with another band called Hawk. And so we're going to touch on those things, and we're going to fast forward at times through this story into other things that happened to get to where I'm trying to lead to, which is my experience at Impact. So as 1984 comes to a close, we're looking at 1985. I'm in my second half of my 8th grade year, and summer's fast approaching, which is going to be a big relief for me because I really struggled in school and didn't really get along with a lot of people there. So as school comes to a school year comes to an end, we're breaking into the summer of '85, and I'm going to the mall to get some new shoes. My friend was supposed to go with me, and unfortunately he wasn't able to go. So this story is basically my Titanic love story of 10 years. So anyways, I'm at the mall, and I'm walking down to go get some new shoes, and I see this beautiful girl, blonde hair, blue eyes, and we walk by, and she got her Journey jersey going on. I'm sporting my Maiden jersey, and so we make some eye contact, and she was with her friend, so I just kind of just kept going. And you know, I went and got my shoes and everything, and I'm headed out towards the food court and everything to grab some lunch. And who do I see? I see that girl sitting there. So she's all by herself. So I figured this is an opportunity to go and kind of introduce myself. So I go over there and I say, "Hey, how you doing?" She goes, "I'm doing good. Like, can I sit down?" She's all, "Sure." And I ask her her name, and her name is Janice. And I tell her, you know, my name is John at the time. And so we hit it off really, really well. And, you know, I go my way, she goes her way because her friends came back. So I call her, and we start hanging out and dating. And this is around summer of '85. We're looking at getting ready to start my 9th grade year here any day now. And things are looking really, really good. I finally found somebody that is at my age, even though I'd been hanging out with the band and being with all these other girls. You know, the tough thing with me is most of them were too old for me to have a relationship with, in an I love you type of relationship. So that made it very, very difficult to have any of those things like that. And then when I met Janice, it was like, oh wow, perfect. You're like the perfect age for me, and you're someone that cares about me. Most of these girls, I mean, please understand, we're partying, we're drinking, but none of them really like cared for me. And so now I finally found someone, and everything's moving really good. I'm focusing more on her and not hanging out so much with the band, and just enjoying that experience of finally found somebody that I click with on the same level. So as I start my 9th grade year, we're moving towards the end of '85. Dave's band and Charles' band are starting to get ready to start gigging, and we're looking at like mid-November for their very first gigs. They gigged a while separately, and then later on they played a show together. But to go back to my main story with Janice, so 85 comes to a close. We're moving around the beginning of 1986 when I had another deja vu. And this was around, I guess, maybe January of 1986 when the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded. I had, for 3 days, been seeing this really gigantic, violent explosion, but could really never figure out what it was. And I was working part-time at a little restaurant in the mall, and a customer came in and told me about it. And I was like, oh my God, dude, that's crazy. So after I got off work, I went home, turned on the news, and bam, they're showing the space shuttle explosion. And I could see exactly what I had dreamt very vividly. It was like, oh my gosh, this is like really insane. I cannot believe I was dreaming that, not knowing what it was that I was visually dreaming at that time. So that was my second real major deja vu that I really, truly experienced. And as time went on, we're looking at now the summer of basically 85 coming to a close. I'm starting my 9th grade year. Oh no, we're in 86, my bad. And I'm getting ready to go to start my sophomore year in high school. And this is when things in my life really took a change for the worse. I had been dating Janice now for a little over a year. Her parents were really big church-going people. They knew that we listened to rock and roll music, and they knew that I smoked cigarettes and all that stuff. But they were very church-going people. And at one point, Janice and her mom got in an argument, and she had left. And not knowing where she went or anything like that, a couple hours later, she calls me and tells me where she's at. And so I tell her how to get to my house, and she tells me what happened, that her and her mom were arguing about something with Grandpa, trying to come into her room and stuff like that. It was just really crazy things. I don't really know what to explain to that situation. But anyways, I take her home, and the following day, and she says, hey, if I don't call you later, just come up and see me, and we'll go from there. Because I would ride up at night and tap on her window, and we would hang out together. So I ride up there that night and tap, there's no answer. Tap, there's no answer. And Janice is known to like to read books, and she would read out in the living room and sometimes fall asleep. So I figured that's probably what she did, and I would just see her tomorrow. So the next day goes by, this is Monday, go up there, no answer. Tap, 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 no answer. Third day goes by, same thing. Fourth day goes by. So now we're looking at a week, and I get a phone call, and it's Janice. Her parents had locked her up in a mental hospital, saying that she was trying to self-harm herself. And I had no idea that this was going on, wondering, like, where is my girlfriend? So now I know what is happening. And it reminded me of when I was in the foster care, where I didn't have any control, any information or anything to help myself. And now this girl that I love, that's been in my life for about a year, I can't help her with anything, and I'm really stuck in that whole situation. So after I find out that she's in this hospital, she calls me a couple of times and lets me know that we can have conversations and when I can come up and visit her. So she has now been in this hospital for about 3 weeks, and I finally get one of my first visits, and I go and see her, and she's very scared, and she tells me that her parents had told the hospital that she was trying to self-harm herself, and that's why they're putting her in there. And so now we understand what's going on. And about another week and a half goes by, I go and see her for one of the last times, and she's very scared. She goes, I think I'm going to get out of here anytime soon. She goes, I'm just really tired of being here, and I need to get out because it's making her visibly upset. So a couple of days go by, and I haven't heard from her. And I called the hospital, and because they had a phone time, and that's all the time that you got, and that was it. And so I called, and they told me that she'd been released, and I was like, oh my God, that's so crazy. So I called the house, and no one answers, no one answers. I go up there late at night, tap on the window, there's still no answer. Go back the next day, still no answer. Call the house. Oh, Janice is on restriction. She doesn't have any phone privileges right now, and thank you for calling, bye-bye. And that's all I would get any time that I called. But any time that I went up there, there was never any answer. So now we are looking at late 86, I am frustrated. I am very, very heartbroken. And this is where I start diving more into really bad substances and drinking a tremendous amount of alcohol. You know, my whole life has been kind of a lot of pain, a lot of abuse, and now I'm dealing with something that is extremely heartbreaking, and I have no way of mending what's going on without knowing what is happening with this girl that I love and I haven't seen in almost 3 or 4 months. And so they told me that Janice had been released from the hospital, and again I've been going up there, and there's just no answer, no answer, no answer. And this went on for another 2 years. Prior to this time, in late 1987 or 88, or early 88, I meet my musical soulmate, my best friend John. He went to high school with my brother, and he told me that, hey, my friend John and Jesse are coming over. You know, you might want to jam with them. So John comes over with his amp and his guitar, and Jesse and all that. And we're all having fun. I've been playing guitar for just about 2.5, 3 years now. I'm getting better, but I'm not great. And so I showed John just a few things that I know, and Jesse shows him some stuff that he knows. And we all have a really good day that day, and we go our own way. Now we're looking at the end of summer of '88, and I'm getting ready to start my junior year in high school, and I just can't deal with life. I'm so stressed out. I'm so depressed. Nothing really makes me happy. I'm using all these substances to try to numb the pain that I'm feeling. And so by the end of 88, 89, I drop out of high school. I'm pretty much a full-blown alcoholic. And that was very hard to deal with because, not having any control in the situation that's happening in my life, there was nothing I can do about it. And the depression just sank in more and more and more. I was really just, I didn't care about anything in my life at that moment. And so basically around 1988, I'm failing high school. It's just not working for me. I have to move forward in my life. So we're looking at roughly close to 1989, and so I finally have a car, and I get over to my house, and I'm talking to my mom, and there's a knock at the door, and who's that? It is John, and he comes over, and he goes, dude, you gotta hear my songs. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. Let's go put them on. And so we go into my brother's room and put them on. And I'm listening to these songs, and I'm just blown away on how great they are. And I'm like, you didn't write this. He goes, no, I did, dude. I'm like, no, you didn't. He goes, yeah, no, dude, I did. He goes, come on, man, come over to my house. I'll get my guitar and I'll play them for you. So I said, okay, that's cool, let's go. And so we go over there, and he whips out his guitar and he starts jamming these songs. And I was like, dude, I just told you these chords, barely, a year and a half ago, and look at you. And I knew at that very moment, if I was gonna have anything to do with music, it would be with John. He is truly an amazing individual. I am so blessed to have him in my life. I love him very much. And I wouldn't be able to do the things in my life that I've been able to do without him, especially even these videos today. He is my engineer. He is that executive producer. And I'm so blessed to have him be a part of my life, because he's really just helped me through my own journey dealing with even my own struggles today. So right around this time, I get a job working at a coffee shop. I was working at a Carl's Jr. and a flower shop. And right before I get this new job, I'm riding home from the flower shop, and I get this urgent feeling to call Janice. And so I have not called this phone number in 2.5 years. I picked up that phone like I knew it yesterday, called, and her mom answers, and she's all, I'm like, hello, is Janice there? And she's all, yeah. And so Janice comes to the phone, and I'm like, oh my God, you're home. I go, when did you get home? She goes, just now. I'm like, oh my God, I miss you so much. How have you been? Because I've been doing good. She goes, I'm sorry, I can't talk anymore. I have to go. And I tell her that I love her, and she goes, you too, I'm sorry, bye-bye, and hangs up the phone. And as relieved as I was to finally hear her voice, I broke down crying. I waited 3 years to find out what had happened to this girl. I felt guilty for taking her home and having her be locked up in a hospital. And I didn't know what to do. And I sat there and cried. And as much as you probably think that I got on my bike and rode over there, I didn't. I did the hardest thing that I could ever do, was to stay away, because I didn't want her to be sent back to wherever she was. And I didn't want to be a part of creating any new waves at home. So that's part of my Titanic love story, because as bad as I wanted to go and see her, and as bad as I wanted to do, just be right there, I knew I had to stay away just for her own safety. And that was very difficult. And as I tried to move on and date other people, that just didn't last that long. The next girl moved away, and the following girl was going to college, and so she was going to be going out of state. And here, I'm 19. I don't need, my whole life is really confusing, and that's pretty much all I want to share right now, as what had happened to me from 1985 to 1989. Again, was very difficult. And like I said, where we're going with the story of impact, the next story is going to show you other bad choices that I made, because I'm so desperately seeking love and companionship with somebody. So before I go today, I just want to thank you very much for watching. I'm very excited to do these videos. I'm still very nervous because I'm opening up some very emotional scars, even though when I dealt with them in Impact, that story with Janice really still hurts a lot, because again, I've never seen her since that day. But I just want to thank you for watching. I love you. I care about you. You are beautiful, and you're truly amazing. And I could not do this without you. And so right now, before I close out the day, I'm going to do some angel oracle cards here real quick for us, and see if we can just get a better sense of what's the word I'm looking for, inspiration to go on our day. Because this story that I share with you may resonate in a different way. You may have a similar relationship issue, and you might still be struggling in that. So hopefully maybe these cards will bring a little bit of enlightenment and some peace in your day. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. It's been a beautiful day out here. And I'm going to grab this Angel Whisperer card, and we're looking at 555, change. Change happens outside your comfort zone. The time for change is now. The angels are whispering for you to trust your path and to learn how to walk in it. Take the next step. Allow change into your life to guide you forward. And there's an affirmation that says, I release all no longer serves me, as I am guided to move outside my comfort zone and change within. That's a very beautiful card. Change is very important. It's something that we all experience every day in our life. It could be a little change, it could be a large change. And I think the thing is really for us to take that next step and allow change to lift us up in our life. The universe is very beautiful, and it will bring to you the things that will serve you in your life when you are ready to get them. I know I have patience issues, and I'm always, trying to hurry my life, and so this is really good for me. It allows me to also release things that no longer serve me in my life, which, depression, anger, frustration, all those things. We don't need those things. So this is a very beautiful message. Remember, 555, change. Let me do this next one. This next one's called Mind Info Oracle Cards. Get a really a good shuffle here for everybody. See what this message says for us today. Have faith. It's not always easy to have faith and trust that everything is going to be okay. Yet still, you must do exactly that. Because when you have faith, your life will begin to flow in a magical way that you never imagined were possible. That's very beautiful. And I hope that this, again, inspires you and influences you to have faith. You know, faith is very difficult. We are always told that we have to have faith in anything and everything that we're doing in our life to accomplish those goals and dreams, whether it's a new job, sport career, marriage, whatever it might be. So this is a very beautiful card, and I think that a really good key factor here is your life. Okay, let me rephrase this, or let me reread it. It's not always easy to have faith and trust that everything is going to be okay. Trust is a big thing. I have trust issues. We all have trust issues. And I think that that is really the important thing, is when you can open up your heart. And I'm going to share a very big trust story in the next episode with you regarding that key word there. That's why I wanted to go back and read that, because if it wasn't for me to really trust this person, my life would have never changed. So this is a very beautiful card. I hope it inspires you to have some faith in your day and truly think about what you are trying to accomplish in your life and the things that you can do to get there a little bit easier and less complicated. All right. 222, balance. I embrace balance in all aspects of my life. I harmonize my mind, body, and spirit, finding peace and serenity. Within every step I take brings me closer to a balanced and fulfilled life. That's a very beautiful card. I think balance is very, very important. Not sure how that may show up for you. Sometimes in our life, we get wrapped up between work, the kids, career path, school, and we never take that time to really stop and refocus our energy on ourselves, because we do get depleted in our own energy, especially if we're giving it out to other people. And again, I would have to say, my life, I'm harmonizing my mind, body, and spirit, finding peace and serenity. Peace only comes from within. You can't buy it. You're not going to find it. It only comes from within, letting these things go. And again, part of the reason why I'm doing these videos is to purge some of these things in my life that is still resonating for me in my life. Share an experience with me that changed my life, that is allowing me to be here today sharing this with you. So that's a very beautiful message. And all of these three messages combined truly, really bring it towards one thing, and I would say really is trusting your own intuition that you are capable of overcoming anything, making better choices, and having a wonderful, wonderful life full of love, compassion, and amazing people in your life. So I thank you very much for watching. It's been my pleasure to share this story with you, and I look forward to the next video. And again, I love you, God bless you, and have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
People will come and people will go, but most of this world aren't worth it to know. This life might deal you one or two true friends, so fight for what's yours till this life comes to an end. Some will try tempting your heart's desire, lifting you up while they set you afire. So don't ever keep your true feelings in check, 'cause nothing's worth losing your self-respect.